This video is about eDiscovery productions, also known document disclosure, document exchange. It is the culmination of all work done on a matter to this point. By all work, I mean identification, collection, processing, review. This is the last checkpoint to catch a critical document. As such, I recommend you focusing on two things: production universe, technical specifications of the production export. Number one, production universe should be identified by a team of trained legal professionals who are very familiar with the legal case and issues, and most importantly, know what falls into the scope of production and what falls out. The technical analyst should find out how the search conditions, the parameters of identifying the production universe. The technical analyst can also ask follow-up questions about anomalies of certain families. For example, when one privileged document is a touching relevant document, do we separate the family members and create two families, or do we create a placeholder for the privileged document and produce the relevant as part of the original family? This point I just described is not always part of the discovery plan, which brings me to my second point: technical specifications. As a matter of fact, not every case has a discovery plan, because not every time the legal team has a chance to complete the meet and confer. As such, I want to share my preferred way of generating a standard production export when there is no discovery plan. It is 2021, and most of the documents are generated, saved, exchanged, and stored in electronic format. Let's stop spending time and money on creating bulky, non-searchable TIFFs. My recommendation is to proceed with the production export of original electronic files and include extracted text and metadata in that format with the standard metadata fields associated with the creation of the electronic file, such as date created, file name, file type, extension, as well as email fields such as to, from, CC, consider, BCC, most importantly subject, and date sent. I want to bring up your attention that it's valuable to include generated text fields like custodian. It is not part of the metadata, it is not part of the original of the document fingerprint, but it helps with the association of the document collection, because that file should be sorted. My recommendation to go with chronological order with a secondary qualifier by custodian to give the production set more meaning and grouping. Lastly, consider assigning production numbers. Production number is a unique identifier generated at the production export time of alphanumeric numbers associated to each production document and give it a sequential order. I'm saying that it's not necessary because it is now common knowledge that the review universe has at least 20 times more documents than the production set. And up to 2017, we were always hiding the fact of how many documents we have in the review set. But starting 2017, I feel the legal teams are comfortable saving time and not generating these production numbers. However, I still find them valuable because original document IDs in a large database can sometimes have 16 digits, score, underscore, dash, 6 letter prefix, it is very hard to reference the document ID of those documents. That's why some companies still continue assigning production numbers, which you can be as creative as you wish. Most often than not, it is 2 letters associated with the name of the producing party and between 5 to 10 digits, depending on the size of your production, assigned to each document in sequential order. Here at Wisdom, we are very familiar with different governing bodies and law firms' preferences. The Competition Bureau of Canada, the ACC, 7 big sisters on Bay Street, law firms in New York, Boston, Chicago. My name is Zoya Gorbachova. I'm the founder and president of Wisdom eDiscovery. Reach out to us for any of your production needs, production specifications, meet and confer, discovery plan, or even how to generate a production export when you have just 1 day to deliver.